Hello everybody, welcome. And once again live here from Athens in Greece. And I wanted to talk with you a little bit about the full moon today in Scorpio and the intensity that that brings, and what we're moving towards over this next couple of weeks as we move towards a new moon in Gemini. And you couldn't have two more contrasting energies if you tried, because Scorpio is deep and intense and feels everything and is emotional. So don't be surprised if you've been having emotional ups and downs and changes and shifts going on. And with this full moon in Scorpio, there's always an intensity. Yeah, everything is so there can be an intensity of passion, an intensity of feelings, and really everything is magnified very often with this scorpionic energy. So it's a really good time for bringing things out into the open. Anything that you've been holding down. And come to think of it, actually now as I'm speaking with you, I realise I've been holding down communicating something with somebody actually. The Scorpio energy can bring out your fears. And I've been a little afraid to communicate with this person, where I feel now I needed some space in the relationship a few months ago. And I said it. And since then, this friend hasn't initiated any contact with me. It's always been me. And so I've not been able to find any equilibrium since that so-called hiccup that we had, where I just couldn't deal with daily emails. I needed a little more space. And so now I've got a situation where I've got too much space. Yes, and the phone goes both ways, the texts go both ways. I don't know if you feel like this sometimes yourself, where you feel like you're doing all the running, or you feel as though you want to run away and get away and it's all too much. So it'd be interesting to know whether some of you feel that way. So I realise that things have gotten out of balance, and I need to communicate to this person that I feel a little sad that maybe the friendship is slipping away. And I hadn't really intended that. It's just important in a relationship for me to have certain boundaries. I love my work, so I'm working a lot because work is my play. And it does mean that there are times when I'm deeply engrossed in what I'm doing and I just can't answer personal emails for a day or two. Not to say that I stay out of contact for months, but just sometimes I can't deal with things every day, or maybe twice or three times a day. So I'm wondering what's coming up for you with this full moon in Scorpio energy. Is there something you're maybe a little apprehensive of facing? Is there somebody you need to talk to? Is there something that you need to bring out into the open? Yes, I had some sardines in the car for the kitties today, and I came back into the car and the car stank of sardines. It was like, ugh. So I thought, oh gosh, I better feed the kitties now. Can't leave the sardines sitting in the car for too long. So have you got sardines sitting somewhere that maybe you either need to cook and eat, or do they need to be slung? Are they past the sell-by date? So, yeah. thank you for saying that you're going to follow me on Facebook. It's a full moon, so good for bringing things out. I'm posting almost daily now on Instagram. It's been something I've resisted. I can't tell you how long, years. And I'm going now and I'm loving it. I'm posting little videos and showing you little snippets of Athens or places that I'm visiting and sharing with you the aspects and what's going on. And just little vignettes really, because we had the moon in Libra a couple of days ago, and moon in Libra is always about finding beauty and connecting with people. And I saw these 4 lovely young boys, and I said to them, oh, hello, I've never gone live before on Instagram. Could you help me do it? And would you be live with me? And they said, oh yes, of course. And this lovely Sotiris helped me, and we had a little chat. And then I said to him, what sign are you? And of course, as luck would have it, he was a Libra, with the full moon in Libra. So I hope that you might join me. The channel is Barbara Gold 111. That's my Instagram channel. And again, in the spirit of this full moon, what announcement do you have to make? Have you got something you'd like to announce and share? Have you got something that you want to bring into the open? Yes, a lot of people have been crybabies today. A lot of tears. A lot of situations where you might be feeling anxiety and inflammation. Now the good news is, as we move beyond this intense full moon, I can't think of a more intense full moon than a full moon in Scorpio. All right, if that's any peace for you. And it's good to use it. How can you use it? Well, maybe you need to bare your soul. Share something really private. Because you know you can die with secrets inside of you, especially if they're festering. Yeah. So what's festering? What's sitting inside of you? And what can you release? And remember, Scorpio is very much like the phoenix rising from the ashes. So it can almost see, yeah, all these old emotions are rising, let them go through, and then just allow something else to come out, that phoenix rising. So, in the spirit of sharing something else, we are about to embark upon a new decade. Astrologically, power year is 2020. And so I've been studying intently for over a year now, the next decade astrologically, 2020 to 2030. So I'll be doing some videos about it, but I'm also very excited to share with you that I'll be doing a seminar live in Athens in October. So I hope some of you may join me in person. And for those of you who can't, maybe you'll join me online, live stream and highlights. So yeah, maybe you need to tell somebody that you love them. Just tell someone you love them. It's very liberating. Isn't it nice to be told that you're loved? Isn't it nice? How about standing in front of the mirror and saying I love you? To yourself, of course. So there's this intensity of the full moon in Scorpio. And we're moving now from this intensity, so use this intensity. If you're feeling a lot of emotions, for me, I often put it into my music. I'll have a good bash at the piano. Or I'll do some art. What can you do to release the intensity of the passion that's inside of you? Maybe it's throwing a few plates. It's great when you feel as though, hey, you know what? It doesn't matter, does it? Does it matter? The things that I can think about now, maybe 10 years ago, do they matter now? Are they important now? And honestly, I've forgotten most of the things that upset me, even a month ago. So, whatever feels great, Empress Light, you want to do a YouTube video? Great, you need to speak. Many people need to speak. And to say what's deeply inside of you. This is the time. And of course I have to walk my talk. I'm going to have to send this email to my friend who I feel has withdrawn emotionally from me. I don't like doing that. And I will do it anyway, okay? I'll do it tonight. So, it's a power moon. Because when you speak, you get your power back. It's when you're afraid of doing something, you're giving away your power to someone else. And yes, thank you, Renia. Sometimes it leads to self-discovery. You find something within yourself. Yeah. Maybe it's owning up to the fact that you feel really angry. Maybe that's not an emotion that you feel comfortable with. Oh, I like that wild swim at dawn and filming a YouTube video. Beautiful. Like that. For some of you, you might just go into isolation and need to be alone. And be peaceful. But the full moon in Scorpio generally churns up emotions, unresolved emotional situations, and gives you an opportunity to find out what's bothering you. So I would ask myself at this time, what's bothering you? I know what it is. It's this thing with this friend, okay? I'll be honest. That's the thing that's bugging me. So I've got to deal with it, no matter what the outcome. Doesn't matter what she does. Well, I mean, it does to a degree. I can't say I'm unaffected by it. But at the same time, I've got to get it off my chest. What do you have to get off your chest? Maybe there's nothing. That's great. And equally, maybe you need to tell somebody how important they are to you in your life. How much they matter to you. I'm not sure where you are, you know, which part of the world you're in, where you're listening from. But the English, the Brits generally, are very withdrawn from expressing emotion. It's all this stiff upper lip type of stuff. And it's, you know, it's quite difficult sometimes to come out with it. I find it more easy with my American friends. So the British have a, generally, I'm not speaking all, please, but there is just a culture around not letting it out. So I'm saying, let it all hang out. And not to be ashamed. Not to be ashamed of anything about you. Yeah. Yeah, I know, Cancerians, you do like to hold on to the emotions. I know. So these are just some of my thoughts and feelings around the full moon. And now we're moving towards a new moon in Gemini. Scorpio, intense, passionate, serious. To Gemini, light-hearted, fun-loving, playful. So this is now what we're moving towards over the next couple of weeks. Gemini has to do with words, with language. Boy, am I struggling with learning Greek. Not only have you got a strange alphabet, you've got strange pronunciation, and it's really challenging. And of course, when you're at the baby stages, you learn all kinds of daft things, really. You know, what have I learned today? I've learned, did you miss the bus? I waited for you for half an hour. Didn't you have your phone on you? So you learn sort of not really very useful things for a long time, but it feels like that. But you can have fun with it. So I've said to lots of people today, did you miss the bus? And it's funny because Greek people, of course, think it's hilarious that I'm saying something like that. So what can you say that's funny to someone? Because Gemini, ruled by Mercury, is a joker. So what can you see that's funny? So we've got this intensity, the serious, the emotions, moving towards this lightness. And always when we go from a full moon to a new moon, it's a great time for detoxing, for getting rid of anything that you don't need anymore. So that could be clutter, could be stuff that you don't use in the house anymore. And just getting rid of it, making space. And then we're dealing with, as we move to this Gemini transition, has everything to do with words and the power of words. Somebody can say something to you like, hey, you look really lovely today. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, I had that. I put on a nice pink top with like little pearls on it. And I didn't expect anybody to notice, quite honestly, but I did feel good in it. And the fish man noticed, and the vegetable man noticed. Different ones said, oh, you look nice today. So what can you say that will be uplifting for someone? Think about the words that you use. Think about the words that you're looking. Oh, thank you, Miss Purple, you like my blouse, thank you. But think about those words. And think about whether you're tight inside. Yeah? Or are you just able to be free on the inside? So we're moving to a much lighter frequency. From density, from darkness into light. That's truly how I see this Scorpio towards the Gemini energy. And yes, it feels great to give somebody a genuine compliment, to say something nice to somebody. The power of words and the power of your mind. Wow. I'm recently listening to Dr. Bernie Siegel, an amazing surgeon, worked with children, worked with many cancer patients. He's in his 80s now. And he shares some amazing stories about the power of the mind. For example, a radiographer who was distraught when he came to Bernie and said, hey, he said, I don't know how to tell you this, he said, but the machine hasn't been working for the last month. Nobody's had any radiation for their cancer treatment. And Dr. Bernie said, isn't that great? Because most of my patients have had their tumours shrink over this month, even though they haven't had any radiation. Because the people thought they were getting the radiation, they thought they were getting the treatment, and the body responded. So the power of the mind, it's incredible. I know it myself, somebody gave me a lotion to put on today. I had a bit of a sore spot somewhere. I won't say where, but I will say it was somewhere that's ruled by Scorpio, for those of you who know. So she said to me, oh, this is wonderful. So I don't usually like that brand. And I felt my mind go, I'm not sure. And she was so positive about it. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to change my mind about this. I'm going to say that this is going to be wonderful for me. And within 5 minutes, the inflammation has settled using that cream. So what can you do to use your mind? To change your mind, to give yourself permission to change your mind, and to create a miracle. Because you can really create miracles, and I'm trying to become more aware of when I'm saying, no, that won't work, that won't work, that can't possibly work, where I'm closed. Where are you closing in? Now, it isn't to say that you don't use some common sense, right? But still, more and more people, as people are saying here, are becoming open to homeopathy, energy medicine. Dr. Bernie said to children who were going to have surgery, he would say to them, you know, you're just going to fall asleep. I'll take care of you, you're just going to fall asleep. That's all. And you know, as they were being wheeled into the, to get their anaesthetic, before the anaesthetic, the children had fallen asleep. Once again, the power of the word. So when a doctor says, whoa, I think you've only got a month or so to live, that can be somebody's death warrant. Of course, there are those who dig their heels in and say, I'm not going to be such a good patient, and up yours. And off they go and stomp away. And they live on for many years. So, really, this new moon in Gemini is a really powerful one. Words are alive, yes. They have life, they have energy. So this new moon in Gemini that we're moving towards, especially as Mercury, Gemini's ruler, is in Gemini as well, we get all the benefits of this Gemini energy by becoming more aware of your thinking and what it is that you say, silently and out loud. So, do you have any questions? I like that one, Daniel. I am healthy. That's a great one, isn't it? Apparently there was a test done with a group of people who were told to say when they wake up, I am healthy, I am well, and I'm in love with life. So there was one group who were with a test group who said that every morning, and the other group who didn't say that. And the ones who did say that for several months, their immune levels got stronger, everything about them, the endorphins, everything about them, the oxytocin in the body was increased, that's the love hormone, and everything improved. So what can you do to use these energies productively? It's not to say that you can't do this all of the time, of course you can. It's just that you can use the astrology to just give you a little bit of a turbo boost. It's a bit like being at the traffic lights. And maybe there's 6 lanes and you get off first. Everybody's coming in that general direction, but you're way ahead. So, what are the best routines for this new lunar cycle? Try and find the funny side in things. Whenever I speak to my 97-year-old auntie, it's such a joy. I ring her every week just for the pleasure of talking to her. She's always got something funny to say. What did she tell me yesterday? She said, there's a lovely man that takes this dog for a walk, and it's got little booties on its feet, little red booties. And she was quite enamoured by the booties on its 4 little feet. So, what is it that you can notice that you can share with somebody that would be just uplifting or funny? So, I just want to thank you for tuning in with me today. It's always a pleasure being with you. I always get to say things I don't expect to say. And I wish you a very wonderful full moon in Scorpio, bearing your soul and your heart, moving towards the new moon in Gemini, looking at your words and your thoughts. Thank you very, very much for listening. And I'll just say bye for now.